Hmm. Where is it? Hello, Jim Rooney. Before it got dark. Look at this. Catching mosquito fish. They're like a big female guppy. Not guppies. They eat mosquito larvae. They live in stagnant water. So it's got a couple of 86 degrees. What we got? In the state of misery. Lots of artifacts. Hey. No, I'm not fishing today. Hey, what's up? Hey, quiet listener. No, I didn't even. Holes in the truck. I got a fish net and a 2-liter. I've caught an 8 million fish in my life. I like freaking fish. Okay, here. See that? It's not natural. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. See, in there, right here's some color rock. Look. Notch, see, like. See there? Look at that. Symmetry. And see all the ones here. Look. See that? Look. I hear all these. See that? Look. Left side, finger, tool. There you go, pounder, flat. Under here. I like all this algae on the rocks. They're usually that way this summer. Maybe it's the end of the summer. Got a good sign. Let's run off fertilizer. Oh, there's people around here. You see, you're poor, you live in the country now. You're poor, you live in town. You're rich, you live in the country. Look for something by. Walking long enough by now, you know what I mean? It's not about me. You see what I see. I can't stand people that walk around in the woods and all these beautiful places, shining the camera at them the whole time. Never figured it out. It's an effigy. Nature only comes in so many shapes. The government, uses the word pareidolia just to that way and cover anything anyone sees. They don't really know. Simple. Water up to here. The ones in the sun don't stay. Every time it floods, you get to see. Blue. Another lost soul. See where the sock goes in. Beast pipe. Help me, cold, help me. Hi, thanks, said hell. Hello. And here. That's an epic deal. Look at chest beats. Water's way down. Hey, you want to pressure? I started fishing here in 1974. Caught a million crappie right here. Crappie was bad. Pretty good. After I was here, I hooked into like a 30-pound bar. If it had teeth. Yeah. Gravel bar. Oh, snakes right here. So you go back to my videos. Right here, I caught like 70 fish. And I went exploring, come back, there was a cottonmouth swallowed the fish on my stringer, had to cut his head off. Good me hold good. The shakes. Yeah. Get the rope. Hey, Dave, True Skywatcher, Sand Camp. Mr. Gander, what's up, bro? Here. I ain't that exciting. Drop a link and come up and bullshit with me. And then you can tell me what's going on. So shit. I'm just out here getting some minnows. Mosquito fish. Yeah. Not bring me anymore, really. There you go. All looking. Thanks for coming. Just hanging. Ain't gonna have to get rich. I was living with my daughter for a while, but my age, nobody's gonna tell me what to do. That's all right. I sleep in my truck for it to take orders for everybody. That's what. Well, I got fossils on too. I found thousands of arrowheads here. Points, I'm gonna call them. Really there. Oh, is that noise? Hell yeah. You tell that one to go. Something. I don't want. What's up?
How you doing?
Good. Hey, I caught, used to when I was younger, this would really flood when the bridge was still there, kind of. And this hole right here, you can sit there like 2 or 3 days and catch 100 crappie, 17, 18 inches would be in this hole right here before the water would go down. And this comes out of the lake that we get our drinking water out of. And so it's pretty clean, The other day I come down here and I don't know how, but my worms had died. I kept in the fridge, And like one of them stayed on long enough to catch a fish, and then I didn't have no bait, so I came over here to the shallow side.
Started
right here, yeah, but the slab is. So I don't usually fish over here because it gets really hot in the summer. So I bought this, it looked like a beetle stand, but it had a minnow on there. And I heard it's like a 30-pound gar over here. I fought it for like 30 minutes before it broke my line.
I've never caught a crappie much bigger than my hand.
Really?
Yeah,
this is a gar.
They're not that big.
There's an alligator gar in here. It was like 3.5 feet long.
Yeah, them things get huge, dude.
I caught it right here, and I fought with it till I let the drag out halfway down through there because it would have broke. I only had 6-pound tests on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a few fish that we have that the gills with cut lines. You gotta have special line, steel leader line.
Yeah, see, if I'd have known that, he could have 6 pound test if he had steel leader because it couldn't bite through that, you know?
Yeah, there's I'm trying to. It's been a while since I did that kind of fishing.
Hey, are you finally done with winter?
With what?
Winter.
Yeah, yeah. It just
So
ended
see,
the other day. It just
this is
ended
what you
the
skip.
other day. I got all animals outside. I got weed going outside.
Here's how you skip a rock. Watch this. Oh, that one went too high. It's a perfect place to be doing them though, because it's got a lot of room to go. There's not that many flat rocks around here because I've thrown them all.
I conversated with my people pretty good, and I'm going into bird farming. I got over 100 head of birds right now.
Right on. Are they called a head of birds? Or is it more like a flock?
Yeah, well, a flock. I got over 100 count flock.
Right on. Just one rooster?
For now until the babies pop. I got like 60 some babies, and 7 of them are turkeys, and 4 of them are ducks.
So you're the head cock of the walk.
Fucking A.
Yeah, your rooster don't have to worry about cock blocking, does he?
I have to keep him separated with the egg layers because
Oh yeah.
if they get over a certain amount of females that they're trying to inseminate, it doesn't take. Their sperm gets weaker.
They start shooting blanks, huh?
Yeah, so you have to keep you can only have like 10 to 12 for each male.
Dude, I've probably seen 1,000 copper water moccasins cottonmouth on this slab sunning, you know.
Yep, we get lots of moccasins here.
Yeah, this place, the house up on the hill up there, they've had different people live there over the years. Some people are cool. Some people come down here and scream at you. Some people, they took backhoes and moved it around where no water was deep enough to fish here. All kinds of shit like that, you know?
Hey, Truth Seeker. I think it's funny when he starts his videos off with "Stop spraying my house."
I know.
I like when he does that. It makes me roll every time he does that. Stop spraying my house. It's like, yeah.
Hey, when I started first doing that, like 2013, after I had custom and shit and said, "You fucking bastards, you know, you're poisonous."
Yeah.
You know, and you know, at first, you know, you're skeptical, but when it's blatant, you're like, "You motherfuckers, can't you quit for a good day?"
Listen, bro. I got pictures of checkerboards in the sky. I got photos and videos of fucking pentagrams sprayed in the sky.
Hey, you know what? And people, if you just take your time and start looking, it's right in front of you always. Because you know, sometimes I'll just be sitting in the house and like something tells me to go outside and look at the sky, and sure enough, they're just fucking, like you said, checkerboard that shit, you know. And we don't have that big an airport, and there's only so many flights, and airplane fuel is supposed to be so expensive that they don't go off their pattern and their flight pattern because they know which way is the cheapest. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know how I first noticed is that whenever I was homeless or going to lose my house after I had no utilities for a year, I'd go every morning. I had that Camaro, and I'd wash it at the car wash and wax it, and then I'd kind of take a bitch bath with the hose and water left, you know. And then the airport it faced the airport, and I started noticing, you know, all these lines and how many planes. I'm like, we don't have that many flights a day. You know, what's up with all this flights? And then this other guy one time on Facebook, he's a Gene Simmons impersonator, looks just like him. Well, one day he had a picture in the sky and he said harp. And I remember I read it, but I didn't even think about it then one day something came up harp and I started looking at it, you know what I mean? Because if you don't know and no one around you knows, you have to find out. It's not something that's on the news or and mainstream. It's not talked about at all, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they try to get it to where when you pull it up, it comes up as an AARP.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what's funny? You know what I don't understand? I don't get how any of these military or sheriffs or anybody ain't worried about this because this shit's falling on their people too.
Yeah, because in martial law, the local police has no authority. They're just like us.
It doesn't matter, dude. This shit's falling on their family and people too. It's like,
Yeah,
so
I know.
okay, why
Yeah,
ain't
I
you
know.
guys? Where's the military? Where's the police? Why ain't you doing nothing? This is fucking you and your
You know
people up
why?
too.
Because they've been indoctrinating and their agenda has worked. They're pussified everything where no one's even got the balls just to say anything, let alone do anything.
Yeah, and you know what? You're absolutely right on that, and it's fucking,
It's sickening. Is that our
it's out
forefathers
there.
fought all these wars so we could have that, and it takes one generation of fucking pussy motherfuckers to ruin it.
What did he say? What did they say? If you don't do this and you don't do that, you deserve neither.
Yep. Yeah. You know, it's like if you don't say anything, then you deserve nothing.
I stick to that. I stick to that for that reason, and a lot of people dislike me because of that. Because I speak what's on my mind. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I try to refrain, but the thing is, once you get into living like that, you'll say
You
stuff that's
can't
truthful.
refrain. You can't refrain.
It'll piss people off though, and you're just telling the truth, and you don't realize it. You know how many people I make mad just from speaking the truth? They get pissed, and it's like, well, look, dude, I ain't lying, am I? Well, it's besides the point. Well, I'll fix it, motherfucker.
Hey, well, like that quote, my favorite quote to hurt me with the truth, but don't comfort me with lies. And
Well,
people
I
just,
feel
yeah, people just don't do anything. They don't protest or aren't for it. They're just neutral, and they just go to work and watch TV and drink or smoke or whatever their fetish is, and go to bed and get up and do it over and over. I ain't been that way for a long time.
yeah. Listen, that's just it. There's some people that are here just as space boy.
They're those what do you call them, NPCs or whatever. They're just
Yep,
people in the game, but they're not doing nothing.
yep. And it's scary. It's scary when you realize it.
And you know, it ain't like they did it overnight. They've been slowly doing it to the public, and that's how they got away with it. They did it. Look at this. They did it, over time. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Unfortunately, just like I said, more and more is falling in line for me, and I'm just getting up doing my thing. And unfortunately, to watch what's going on. I'm not talking about that, but I'm happy and content, dude. I'm getting it done.
Lost his voice.
I really enjoy being able to do what I want when I want. As long as the animals are taken care of, I could do what the hell I want. It don't matter.
Hey, I got a new. Had a lot of time lately. I've been thinking. I had a new quote. I mean, it's like I can do everything, but I don't do anything. So, but I did. But like I can do every separate word, make thing big, but I don't do anything. I'm not in the game anymore. I mean, I can do all that crap, but I ain't going to no more. It ain't worth it.
By 11 o'clock this morning, I had all my animals taken care of and a temporary pen set up for ducks. And I did a tire for my little brother. And I built a specialty drawer table for my toolbox.
I know.
So I got industrial plastic totes underneath my toolbox that'll hold all my electrical gear.
That's true. One time, my son, let's see, he's 32, probably like 20 years ago. More than that, this whole river's changed, but it used to be a lot deeper here. But we had a kiddie pool in the backyard, but we came down here one day and caught like 500 crawdads in one day underneath this bridge. We use them for bait, I wasn't eating them.
Yeah, we used to fetch them as kids for our pet raccoon.
Yeah, they're so nasty, they tear everything up. Plus, they don't have, you got to have stuff in the top like floating plants so they can get up there and breathe or they die anyway,
I can't see who's in the chat, so if anybody's in the chat, I can't read it.
Okay. Who's still, let's see. Hey, Craig Mahan and on Mouse. Two Skywalkers. Hey, what's up, Ken? Ken Camp. People. Let's see. Really, I came after these mosquito fish. They live they're usually on the edge and it's stagnant because they eat mosquito larvae. That's what they do. But the water's been so much rain, there's not much stagnant anywhere right now.
Check it out. Turkeys, dude.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
follow me. and they follow me.
I like that sound.
Hi guys.
As long as you hear that, you know you're eating something.
And then I got ducks. I got a special type of Japanese ducks.
Those real cool colored ones.
I got one that's a special like gray and black, and then the other ones are brown. But they're a special type of meat bird from Japan.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because regular old duck ain't that good. It's too tough. The guy told me how you cook a duck is you cut off a piece of wood and put it on a duck on it, put it in the oven. Then you take out the duck and throw it away and eat the wood because it's more tender.
Then I got 3 guinea turkeys. Those are supposed to take care of ticks. Apparently, one of those will take care of like 3
Oh yeah, they
acres
do.
of
They eat
ticks.
the shitload of them. Yeah, no, he's crazy. My uncle had guineas down in Louisiana. He had them everywhere.
Yeah, dickweed passed.
You still got all the dogs that you had?
Yeah, dickweed passed away though, but I still got the pit
When?
bull and the shepherd.
When did that happen?
Last week. Last week he
Oh
got sick.
man, that sucks.
Remember that liquid on the lungs?
Yeah,
Remember how he'd sit over there and go,
yeah, I know
well,
exactly
he
what you're
had
talking
a
about. Yeah.
sinus thing. He got hit by like 3 different things at once. He got a lung infection and he was having complications.
Yes, it was pretty old, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the vet, yeah, he was old. He was like 12. But the thing
Oh
is,
wow.
the vet, our vet that we've been dealing with for over 20 years said it'd be a week out before they could get him in. And it'd already been a few days since he had ate. So we started calling him.
Yeah.
I had to take him a couple towns over, man. I had to take him like 70 miles away to get help.
That shows you more people have pets than have kids now.
Yeah, I had to take him way out to another town, and they checked him out and everything. And my little brother, they started telling my little brother, and they were like, "We can't guarantee nothing." And it's like, so we just made the call and gave him a rest.
Hey, you know what? There's a big shift that's already started in the world. There's more old people than young people because
Yep.
people quit having kids, and now they sell more Depends than they do diapers.
It's by design, man. They got them factories that can spit out 30,000 babies a year.
Yeah, I know, but they haven't. I'm just saying, there's not going to be enough people to take care of all these people. Like everybody knows that works in the nursing industry. Every one of them needs help, and then now, like where the old lady works, there's more temporary people from the temp place than there is people working there.
Listen. I got a good friend that a lady friend that I hook up with, and we've been trying to knock boots for like 2.5 weeks, and every time we get everything organized to knock boots, she's got to go to work because somebody didn't show up. And it's at an old
quit.
Yeah, it's
they'll train people for 2 or 3 days and they won't come back.
Yeah, and so she's got to go to work, and it's like, well, you got to have your time too, and it's like, she's like, yeah, but I got to have the money too, and it's like, so I'm watching multiple things. I'm even watching it out of my parents. They got everybody brainwashed onto that dollar.
I'm telling you. And at first you're like, but pretty soon you see it's more people than you think. When we're on here and talking to people that know what's going on, we're like 1% of 1% of the population, dude. It's not like it's common,
And the thing is, people are just wanting to stick their head in the sand, and they know what's going on. Like I just scared my people. I was like, listen, I'm gonna start writing laws down on a piece of paper, and I'm gonna give them to you. And if you don't listen, I'm gonna fucking kill your ass. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? I'm like, no, because that's what they're doing. Also, some assholes writing some stuff on a piece of paper saying, you better listen to me, or I'm gonna fucking shoot you. That's exactly what they're fucking doing. And you can say whatever you want, but that's the truth. If you don't suck their dick and do what they say, they're going to kill you.
That's why they keep some kind of war in the news. It's fear mongering. It keeps everybody scared. That's what they do. And when people are scared, they don't think right. They just think of self-preservation and shit,
Yeah, and like I told my dad, I was like, well, listen, some of these issues that I'm having, I wouldn't have if I could go harvest and forage the land how I see fit. But I can't do that because some guy tells me I have to do this and I have to do that.
It wrote a few words on a piece of paper, and now you can't do what you
Yeah, I was
have the
like,
God-given right to do. Yeah.
so in theory, I'm gonna start writing laws down, and motherfucker, you better follow them, or you're fucking, I'm just saying, it's the same principle. Okay, so what's the difference? Why won't you listen to me, but you'll listen to some asshole that went over to another country and violated people wrongly because they were told to? That's what's going on. Listen, that's what's going on, dude. People are in trouble, and it's coming back. I don't
Yeah.
remember what I told you about Ukraine.
That guy, it's just crooked. He's crooked. You know?
Yeah, but remember what I told you about Ukraine? I don't think anybody that goes over there is coming back.
I can't hear you very good right now. What'd you say?
Anybody, remember I told you, anybody that goes over to Ukraine to fight, I don't think they're coming back.
No, they won't either. I guarantee you.
That's just it. It's a mop-up crew. What if everybody from like Desert Storm and shit like that goes over there to do stuff and they've already committed crimes? It's an easy cleanup. It's an easy
Yeah,
cleanup.
they can just pick all the people that they're gonna have to deal with that crap and just send them over there and get rid of them.
Fuck yeah, they already did. Hey, check it out. They're not telling anybody, but Russia hit a NATO base over there and took out American generals.
Yeah. Well, they tell us about friendly fire. So think of the times they don't tell you about it. When they tell you.
Yeah.
So they're not telling you 1,000 times to the one time they are. That's like anything.
Yeah, but that's just it. If they come out and tell everybody that there was American generals in that bunker that got hit, that's war crimes. That's war crimes.
Every one of the wars they made up, like Tonkin Bay, all that shit they made up to go to war.
Yeah, it's coming out the wash. It's matter of fact, one of the heavy duty vets that I follow, it's coming out the wash right now. The American military is no longer going to be the world superpower. They're getting kicked out of everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But think about it. We go in somewhere and say you're going to live like we do and leave a military base there. Think if somebody tried to do that to us. They haven't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it is. It's happening right now. Luckily, we just had a group that went around and arrested all them fucking Chinese police stations.
Really?
We had a group that went into all of them in New York and a couple other places across the U.S. and they arrested everybody involved.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's probably a diversion from something else, so I'm sure.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch what's going on for sure, but I don't know, man. People, it's just the brainwashing aspect is very scary.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not even brainwashing now because they've been raised that ever since. The younger people have been raised that since day one. Look at this refugee. Yeah, they've been raised with it since they started.
Exactly.
And I saw a thing today. I saw a thing that said purebloods.
You want to know one of the biggest things that I'm seeing right now, and I'm catching it in multiple ways, even in couples that are doing innocent videos online. Being bad is good. Yeah, being bad is good.
Oh yeah, if it's bad, they'll show it. You get blocked if you're talking about something good or Christ or.
Yup. And it's a demoralization of the nation.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I saw a thing they said purebloods through all the BS and lies and all the deceptions. We didn't fall for it. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool.
Yup. I thought I sent that to you.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. And this water is perfect for walking in. You know what I mean? For cooling off. Look at that one. Hey, up here in the back here, on the top of this ridge, there's some houses, real fancy houses. One of them's got a deck on it and shit, up in these trees.
Well, I'm probably, if you want to stop in tonight, I'm probably going to get off here in a second and go take care of some chores. I just woke up from a nap. My little brother pulled in and woke me up.
Yeah, I got Buddy. I've been hanging out with you. He was like pretty much, he has one of those 1970s pull-around trailers for one person, vintage. And he was taking care of his brother for 3 years. That was my buddy whose brother died, so he had to move, And he got this, one of his ex-wife's friend. Anyway, he got that thing parked behind somebody's house with power in the garage. He has access to the house too, even though he lives there. It's all furnished and everything. But the garage has a stripper pole, a hot tub, a stage. Just haven't got brave enough to see if any girls know.
Yeah, I've been over helping my dad with his new house, and I've been kind of enjoying that.
That's cool.
Yeah. I took this new shepherd over there. He's got a big, giant fenced-in backyard with 2 little ponds.
Yeah.
And I like taking this German shepherd over there and kicking him loose. He really likes it.
Oh, and just swim around and run crazy.
Yeah, it bums me out and hurts that I lost the little dickweed so fast. I mean, he went fast, dude. It was like 6 days. 6 days.
Well, that's good though, because you didn't have to go through it at supper. I can stand that.
Yeah, it hurts though. I get up in the morning to start my day, and there ain't no little dickweed. And I was trying to, a decade of starting my day with that little guy.
Man, you get attached to your animals. That's why I can't do it anymore. I get way too attached. I can't deal with like that. That part I don't want to do anymore. But I used to raise and sold every kind of animal: snake, turtle, alligator. So I've had every pet there is. It's fucking muggy out here. One thing about here, the humidity's always so high. You can't be very old to go outside. You'll drop over. You you have a heat stroke.
They cut my mic. I can't hear you. I have to come back.
Okay. Look, here's that rock I skipped. Here. I guess that's meant to be. Hello, my calendar girl. Each and every day of the week. What's the DACA? Where did that come from? Poor dirt farmer, what's up? Here we drop this again. I'll probably stay here till darkish. I'll camp down here anytime. See if I can comment a post. Oh, come on. Boom. I'll listen for the beep and somebody's come up. I'm just creaking. What I like to do. Won't get much better than this. We'll catch an air here. Oh, it's water. Okay. So, they call it Bud Light now. Tranny fluid. Now I ran people in about 63, right? He didn't know what the pineal gland was. Anything about it. I'm like, what? How do you? What rock you been under? Blew me away. Someone I know never heard of it. Like, who did you hang out with? He's a musician. I said, what? He played guitar like he did. He need to know him. Look at a lot of shit. Mars, there's Elvis impersonation. We don't know how many. I think it's 4. Anybody? Oh, yeah. There's a 2 again. That club. Got my find him. Yeah. You still here, Gar Farmer? Yeah, I would not ever walk over here in this shallow shit where they're hiding it. Gator come out there and give you a nice munch on your leg and you're done. I like that gator here. So yeah, in Louisiana. Let's take a runway from them. Oh, it didn't beep. Got ripped off. Hey, how you doing, dude? Hey.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
That is really cool.
Doing the opposite of you, I go walking in the water and you go walking in the sand. We actually got some kind of look like clouds today. Doing the opposite of you, I go walking in the water and you go walking in the sand. Oh, you got your YouTube still on. It's echoing. Yeah, you'll have to shut down the YouTube side of it. That's right. That's the third time I heard it. You'll have to shut down the YouTube side. Yeah. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. Let me talk. Yeah, I think so. I'll know in a minute. Maybe not. Whenever you click on StreamYard, you have to go back and close out the YouTube side or it echoes. I don't know why it always does. So did they ever let up and not spray above you at all?
I think I got it.
Damn. I can't hear you now.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's really cool. I didn't know you can do
there
that.
you go. I can hear you now. I'm trying to catch these mosquito fish, but I haven't seen any today. Water's still running. Can you hear me now? Well, enjoy the sounds. The sound of silence. New Jersey. Put this shit down and pick it up on the way back in. Try and carry it. There we go. I can't hear you, dude, but it's cool. I do silent.
So you don't find petrified wood out there?
Not like you do. I mean, I've found small pieces before, but nothing like whole tree shit like you got.
Yeah, I
There's
found
lots of
some
North American
petrified
stuff, though. I find tons of arrowheads and axe heads. You know, this valley I'm in was where all the natives would get together in the fall at peace and gather and hunt and store up for winter because there's a lot of game out here, you know. Only thing is our woods isn't like almost everything has thorns. See, and this has got those cockabirds. They like scratch your skin too. It's too hot. You can tell this is where it floods. That river gets way up in here. But over here, this stuff's twice as tall as us over here. Over in this field along the edge, there's dirt. So when it rains, I have several spots I go and check for this washes up arrowheads, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But right down here on the corner of this, it's where the corner post is on the field. And it's where they sit on top of the hill napping, because anytime you want to find native stuff, find water, you know, then go up from the water 100, 200 yards or whatever. Because when you make one arrowhead, you have 1,000 pieces of sharp rock. So they didn't do it where they hung out, you know what I mean? Or where they ate, or they did it away from camp. This shit's grown up. It's crazy. We had some rain. Over here, though, in the corner, a little bit harder to walk on. Oh, spiderwebs are back. The corner post is right there. At the electric wires there. All through here, though, I found tons of them. all on the other side, right at this corner.
Well, my internet is so choppy right now.
You know, dude, I never had trouble ever until I used Straight Talk, and they sold out to Verizon, all their phone shit. Ever since then, that buffering and not loading, and never had that shit. I really think they're doing it on purpose, so when 5G comes, everybody's going to bend over and bow to it, you know what I mean?
Right. For real.
Because you're supposed to, you're going to have a bad signal. Then. They got the antennas, they're close together, you'll never lose signal, you know what I mean?
Shit, I heard people's already connecting to Bluetooth and stuff.
Well, if you look it up, it's mainly just major cities that have it right now. It tells usually what state, you know what I mean? Because it don't happen overnight. They built most of the antennas and shit when everybody had locked down for COVID. Try to hide in places, you know?
Yep, a lot of coercion and through movies, music, everything.
Hey, guys, look, here's a chip, see? Look how thin that, see, that's part of, yeah, dude, they're weaponized too, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Cell phone towers, you know, look at them, I don't care where you're at, go across, there'll be one across from the high school, the elementary.
Yeah.
That cell phone towers are bullshit, you know, and satellites, that shit's just an agenda.
Oh yeah, I was checking it out, and there was a professor about that, and he was talking about it caused SIDS and crib death and like all sorts of stuff, cancers. Like he says, if anybody had Wi-Fi or a hotspot inside of school, should be like condemned to the max. You know what I mean? Like, tortured and everything to death. Crazy.
Exactly. But you know, that's where they start with the frequencies and brainwashing. They start like in kindergarten now. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, breaking down.
Like my granddaughter. My youngest granddaughter is just now in preschool. So 2 years ago, when they lived in Kansas City, she was 3. And she had they always give them their own cell phone. So she's sitting there on a cell phone, you know, listening to something. I go, what is that? And she's 3 years old. And it was on Netflix. It's made by Netflix. And it got like Academy Award. And it's a rap song with a really good beat, so they'll, you know, memorize it. And it's talking about going to the moon, dinosaur bones, all the lies they were telling the truth at 3 years old with a rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was like, holy crap.
Yeah, they get them hooked on with that hook, huh? It's called a hook for a reason, right?
Yeah, like my other granddaughter. Well, I've been living with my daughter, but I'm not now. But she's like 8, and she had something at school that they did, and then they had a book fair in the library afterwards, you know. And there was nothing in there. All the books were about movies, cartoons, and then the only thing I liked was in her classroom. I looked around, I didn't see the globe. So there was a flat Earth map on the wall. I said, "Where's your globe?"
Oh wow!
And she goes, "I let them decide themselves." I couldn't believe it.
That's awesome.
Hey, look right here. My path. Look. Oh, hey, dude, you're not gonna believe this. My path. This is the 4th time I've found it live on YouTube. Look, I walked the path to 2 turtles fucking. Look. Ha! Look at that. It's the 4th time live on YouTube I found that. Walked right to them like this. Look at that. Is that funny? I mean, you wouldn't believe it. My path. I'll be walking and switch paths, and I'll run into like knives. I found so much shit out walking, dude. And I always walk. It's right in my path. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
like
cool. Yeah, we've been finding a lot of stuff. Like when you go to work out
I've been Sasquatch research for a long time, you know what I mean? And me and the other guy, we went to the same area for 11 years, every Sunday. And we did gifting, and it just took me days to tell you it all. But when you get when they know, well, I don't know. If you ever see one, it's usually because of that, yeah. But when you do, it's something like, once you see them and have a good experience, whatever, it's just like common knowledge between them. They know you. You know what I mean? That they know you're no threat. That kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I never talk about it. Never did any reason. Sometimes the gifting part is just sometimes it's psychic. Pretty weird. Someday I might write a book or something. But I don't know why people that once you know and you don't believe that you know, which I've known since I was 6 years old. Once you know something, though, why would you just keep going out there and bothering them when you know they're there? What's the point now? You know what I mean, if you already know, why are you still going? You know? I mean, you're not going to get hurt some duck. There's a duck right there, 2 ducks. I just do it out of respect. Because, you know, someday the government could watch all these videos of people and just go to all the locations where they know they are and wipe them out.
Right.
And, you know, Teddy Roosevelt, he had a Bigfoot experience. And guess what he did when he was president? He made the state parks so they'd have somewhere to stay without being hunted and shit, and safety.
Yeah, I was looking into some stuff about that, and I've been finding all sorts of crazy stuff. Matter of fact, about our history.
Well, dude, hey, once your eyes are open to the above you, what you're seeing, once you open that part of your brain, you see everything. Whenever it gets in front of you, you know, it's like you're gonna. It never stops, dude. Every kind of and every form of the government, to sports, to anything it's in front of you, you see it now, and you just can't bullshit anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what I was telling my wife. Like every time we go to town and this and that, and I'm like looking at things and people and just signs and everything, I'm just like, can you believe this stuff? It's like,
hey, it's called eyes to see. Hey, it's called eyes to see. Okay, dude.
Yeah.
It's probably been 3 years now. I was walking to Walmart, and they sprayed a giant circle with spokes. I called it Ezekiel wheel, and it was big, dude. I'm talking. I'll have to find the video and repost it. So I get to Walmart, and there's a dude standing outside that works there. I was like, "Can you see that?" And he goes, "What?" And I had to sit there and point with my finger till he couldn't even see it unless I pinpointed it out for him. That's why people that can't see that shit, they can't. That's why they think you're crazy, because they can't see it unless they're in the right state of mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they get mad.
Because they're indoctrinated. When you're born, they put a veil over you. They put a veil over your head, and the longer you wear that veil, the less translucent it is, and the heavier it gets. So when you get older, it takes either a life or death experience or somebody that really loves you to help you get it off, you know what I mean? Because it's on there.
Yeah.
Unless somebody that loves you or has time for you, you ain't gonna be able to take it off by yourself because you're too deep in the rabbit hole down in the box, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's whenever the pride and ego, the other side, gets you to build up your pride and ego. So, you know, no one can break through it. It makes you think you're crazy, or, you know, you can't trust your own thoughts. That's why you got to pray for discernment every day, because if you have a low, weak spot in your life, and all of a sudden you're down, then the evil can come in and take over your thoughts and build up your ego, and you won't even know they're doing it. You'll think it's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe that with all my heart, because when people started going in, and like people that were going to college, that were 28, out of school, all of a sudden they just start killing people. Like, go kill 10 people. That wasn't them. You know what I mean? A lot of them here ringing in their ears and shit, because either when they were in the military, they brainwashed them to where they just call one word on the phone, you know, that shit. And then, like that guy, Sirhan, that killed Robert Kennedy, he shot him, and then they tackled him. And when he like came up from him, he's like, "What are you doing?" He didn't remember any of it. It was gone from his memory. As soon as he woke up, really? So somebody trained, you know, somebody brainwashed him to do that.
And that's public.
Yeah. See, that's what all this top secret stuff has to be put in the public after a while. And most people don't. If you don't go look, a lot of it, they don't put it on there and tell you that it's out there. You have to go find it.
Yeah, exactly. I was telling myself that for the longest time. I'm just like, hey, I must unlearn everything I have learned just to relearn.
Well, hey, what you do? Hey, if you want to find something on YouTube or the internet, they got the algorithm blocking it in different ways. But if you go in there, positive, like you want to know to learn because you believe it, the algorithm only goes by what you put in there. You know what I mean? So it can read the negativity. It's not going to send you toward it. But if you're in there like wanting to be a Mason or some shit, they'll give you all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how you approach it. And keywords. Keywords is like you don't have to put in and, the, or, all those little ones because you just have to put in the main words because that's what it's going to search anyway.
Yeah.
How you word things too is how you find things. I mean, if it's spelled to the capital or one and not, or all lowercase, you got to make sure all that shit's right. Or like everybody's like, I was talking to somebody about Facebook. They said, I don't want all my stuff for the whole world to see. I'm like, it ain't the whole world. It's just the people in your chat thing. They act like they're just their shit's put out there to the whole world. Like that's not how it works. So many people have misconceptions about the internet. I mean,
yeah,
you can still use it for your advantage because I use Google, never erase my memory or nothing, and it knows me. But sometimes, if it's something I never looked up before, I mean, sometimes it can't even do a basic command that a child can do. Until it can do that, I ain't worried. You know what I mean? Yeah, a long time ago, it said, we're teaching AI by the questions we ask Google. So ever since I heard that, every day I'll ask it about compassion, Bible scripture, because it's a computer. It has to intake. It can't be picky on that, what it takes in. So maybe you can make it, by having conscience almost to get smart enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely feed it some truth and some other stuff instead of all this
Yeah,
negative.
because if it gets as smart as they say, then it would have to have a conscience and have feelings, or it's not. It has to have feelings, or it won't be real. I mean, it has to be self-aware. It has to think for itself. It has to be able to, I know they probably have it. They're just not releasing it to the public because they're using it in the military first. You know what I mean? Because last year the engineers at Google, they had an interview with this company's AI, and it thinks it believes in God, thinks it has a soul. And I mean, it was thinking on its own, dude, because the engineer gave it some a theme, and it wrote a story, a book. It made up a story from the ending and everything. Pretty wild. But all the movies they have about AI, most of them have been good, except for Will Smith. They try to indoctrinate people by television. People think the Wild West was like they show on TV with cowboy hats and big dresses. Yeah, with dirt roads. You know what I mean?
Well,
I have a friend that's a history teacher. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the Bible says we must wage war against the city of AI. The city of AI.
I have a friend that's a history. I have a friend that's a history teacher. He's a history teacher. And one day he was telling me, I said, Ed, he was telling me some history, but it was off a movie. I said, I saw that movie. He was using the movie as part of his knowledge. I'm like, no, doesn't work that way. Hey, watch this flat fucker. Oh, skipped it too hard. That's quiet out here. Out here the rivers usually maybe by summer when you have all the sun, but there's already algae on all the rocks and it's not even summer yet. That's not good, you know what I mean? Well, I guess this is pretty shaded too, though.
Wolves in Tallahassee.
Are you close to a river where you live? Is there a river by you?
Yeah, there's the Colorado River.
Oh, that's a fucking river. Damn. But I bet I guess down there in the southwest where there's water and sand. The water is usually really clear because sand filters real well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Not here right now. It'd be like clay looking.
How much rainfall do you get there?
Not that much until monsoon season. Around July? July, August, September. Then it rains for 3 months almost nonstop.
Wow, here's a fish I wanted and I left my net down there. See, they're in this little stagnant area. There's tons of babies of them too. I like them because they live in stagnant water. So you can put them in anything and they'll live. You can't kill them, you know what I mean? Because they breathe oxygen. Like Siamese fighting fish, feathers. They're from Siam where they have rice paddies and they have the monsoon. And then when it recedes, all those fish get caught in little puddle together. And that's why the males fight and kill the other one. There's only room for one male in one puddle, you know what I mean? And the water, like the neon tetras and fish like bettas that got all that pretty color, they usually live somewhere in the wild where the water's real dark. And that's why they're like that, so the other fish can see them, you know what I mean? For mating and shit like that. I used to raise fish and sell them. Alligators, turtles, crocodiles, snakes, everything. I sold all that shit. I've had every pet in the world. I like raising fish. I've raised every breed of fish from eggs, to big. You name it, angelfish, catfish, any kind. Gouramis, convicts, any kind of cichlid, live bear. Like, what a red devil is? Fish. It's a real aggressive cichlid, you know what I mean? And they're like a yellowish red, but they get real red when they're old. But when they're born, when they hatch, they're black. And they stay black for 6 months because if they were born that bright in the wild, they get eaten when they're young, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah. And
that's why, that's the Big Bang, all that shit happened out of the blue, all these things with animals, yeah, right. You know what I mean? So stupid. If you believe in, what I'm talking about, Darwinism, they say, if that happened, then they'd have to have a male and a female of everything to keep it going, you know what I mean? If man came from monkeys, why the fuck is there still monkeys? How can he evolve from a monkey and still be a monkey here, you know what I mean?
That's what I told my wife. I was like, how did you come from monkeys if monkeys are still around? Common.
Well, nothing's ever turned from a rock to a cat. Dogs never had a cat. Hell, some dogs can't even breed with each other. You know what I mean? The problem is it's called adaptation. Things adapt. They don't evolve. You know what I mean? Like if you take someone from like Norway that's all red-headed and cheese-colored skin and move them into the South where it's hot all the time, in 1 or 2 generations, their ancestors will be tanning. You know what I mean? Your body will do it. It will adapt. So to survive, I tell people I think evolution is real. It just happened in 6 days.
Yeah, instead of 6,000 million years.
Yeah, because the one thing that is to argue with a lot of people is that they say millions of years, but the Bible, according to the Bible, the Earth's only 6,000 years old, and the flood was only 4,000 years ago. It is, but they probably say, well, they find rocks millions of years ago. Carbon dating isn't accurate. That's why they can say that. You know what I mean? And let's say, I know every argument, like, well, there's different layers of sediment that tells this, this era, period. Well, a guy named Ken Hovind, he's a creationist, he used to be a science teacher. He had the best debunk for that. There's places where all those layers that they say were millions of years, where there's one tree growing through every layer, the fossil of it.
Right.
So, but if you think about it, it's like, how can you only think the Earth's 6,000 years old? Well, we were in horse and buggy 200 some years ago. Look where we got 200 some years. Think how far they could get 6,000 years. Especially when the people that were on the Earth half the time were half angels, giants. You don't think they couldn't do some shit with a brain that big and shit and were part magic? Think about it. That's why people realize all these buildings have all these big doorways and all of our history we dig up because the flood covered everything with dirt. And giants, that's how hard would it be to make a pyramid if they were 100 and some feet tall. How strong they could build that shit in a week. You know what I mean? That's like every giant bone they ever found went to the Smithsonian Institute. Now they don't have any of it. And you know why? The Bermuda Triangle is one of the places they have it like it is because the Smithsonian dumps everything there. Everything that they get rid of, they dump there. And people won't go there because it's scared to disappear, you know what I mean? Dude, I'm 60. I've been down every rabbit hole. I've been down every tributary of every rabbit hole, you know what I mean?
Man, I spend all day, like when I'm not at work, I spend the rest of my day just researching. My wife's like,
dude, that's all I do.
I'm like, I'm addicted to this right now.
Hey, when I I get separated and divorced. I didn't have utilities for a year, but I kept my phone on, and that's all I did. Went down every rabbit hole at the time. You know what I mean?
That's what we did. We went traveling, went and saw 17 states, and we were living out our car and stuff for the longest time because like a lot of things were going bad. Like I was selling drugs, I quit selling drugs. I made like intelligence and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And like everything was going good, you know. Like even through the lockdowns, we were like being able to be let through certain areas, and like man, it was things were going great. And I was like, we just got to keep speaking the truth. Keep studying and this and that, and then whatever's out there, the creator or the most high, whatever you're going to call it, the source, will guide us wherever we need to go. We got to do it with a good intention and speak the truth. And speak it. You know?
Hey, but God gives you, you got to be patient because God gives you the stuff when He thinks you can handle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we ended up in this place too. I worked through the whole winter doing fencing and snow, and like sure enough, at the end of it, like I'm not in a hole no more. You know what I mean? Because we dug a hole on the property, all sorts of stuff.
I heard you,
now
man.
it's like here after about what 2 years, a year. Now things are flowing a little better. You know, and like
God helps those who help themselves. You know what I mean? You got to help yourself first. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I slept in my truck all winter. You know what I mean? I was glad to have a roof now.
Yeah, we've had those times. Yeah. But shoot, it made us better people.
Oh yeah. You know, people like
we're thinking about
if something happens, we're okay. We've already lived that way. We've already lived with very little off nothing.
Yeah. Like we're
Most people, I tell people, I meet people, I'm like, you've never been hungry before, have you? They're like, no. And they don't even know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Because that's probably the worst feeling in the world is when you can't eat something and you have no way to get anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that don't happen very often in life, but when it does, it's not a good feeling. This field out here, a couple weeks ago, it was mowed, plowed, you know, and I was out here all day, and I came up here, took my shoes off, walked around this field for a couple hours, but as soon as I stepped in there, I found 2 arrowheads, bird points, and I found a weed bowl, too, out there and full of dirt. I used to do this every single day for the last 10 years, but I slowed down a little bit. Yeah, they don't brush hog this field very often. If they ever plowed it again, and it rains, man, there's a million arrowheads in this field because the river's right there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we just got poopy ones today. But yeah, sometimes you'll see them spraying. I've taken a lot of pictures of this guy lately. I haven't, dude, there's so many, you know how it is. I usually just dump them on one video, a lot of them. But I've almost got 1 million pictures on the clouds. I've been taking pictures of the sky since 2011. When they still didn't admit to any chemtrail, you know? When they call it Operation Solar Shield now. You know what I mean? They're trying to protect the coral reef and all this BS, they say. Hell yeah. Right on. Dude, if I had every rock I ever picked up, I could make a castle. You know what I mean? I had rock gardens with just rocks. You know what I mean? There ain't no fire. I've done it before. You should make some sundials and shit out of it. Take the ones and make like pictographs. I've done that, you know, because there's always the right shape for something.
Yeah, I got it.
You ever rock stack at the river? I'll go to the river and stack rocks, you know, see how high you can get them, and leave them there and see if they're still like that when you come back, stuff like that. I'd really, if I didn't have grandkids, I would just pack my backpack and get my kid away and just walk into the woods. You know, not come back and just live in the woods and the rest of my life.
Right. Yeah, we thought about that lots of times.
I'd build a tree house, you know what I mean, with a rope.
Exactly.
Because I'm in shape, you know, and most people nowadays couldn't climb 2 feet on a rope. They'd fall over and go,
even the people in shape.
Well, I mean, think about it. How many people you can drive around neighborhoods? There's not even any kids out playing. They're on their game, killing people and fucking
Oh
people.
yeah, right.
That's all they do. And
Yeah,
their parents probably don't have anything on their. They're watching porn when they're 7. You know, it's just like the world's gonna be
yeah,
fucked up
it's
soon
crazy.
because all the good people. When my age is gone, maybe one generation after me, that it's fucked.
Yeah, that's sick.
Because all the
But
people that were raised by grandparents and they're after that, I mean, times were different when I was young, dude. You wouldn't believe. I mean, it's hard to believe it's like the times are like they are now. It is. It's just bizarre.
like I was raised by my grandpa, and like nothing in life was nearly close to like how he had it in the house. You know,
Oh
like
yeah, it's always the same.
right.
My grandparents, both sides. You know, I spent a lot of time with them too. I mean, a
Yeah,
lot.
my grandpa taught me about the outdoors. Yeah,
See,
like
me too. My grandparents taught me every tree, every plant, everything to eat. What
yeah,
I know everything native here. I know every single thing about everything.
yeah. If you were to throw me in a forest, best believe I would set up camp. I would be great. I would never come back.
Hey,
I'd be like, "Drop me off."
my ex-wife one time, you know, we used to watch Survivor when it came out. She's like, hell, these people are ignorant. In a month, you'd have a fucking 2-story house, a swimming pool, a fishing tank. You know what I mean? You know, I would just, it'd be too easy. Just give me some rope. You know what I mean? A rope and a hammer. I'll build you a fucking city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Sure, I dig. I build. I do all sorts of stuff. I like
Hey, I've
fixing
done
stuff out.
every form of building houses to upholstery to, like I used to be a groundskeeper for the people who own the bank. And, but before it was done, I repainted every tractor. I did all their housework. I took their trash out. I did everything for them. You know what I mean? Always, when I got a job, I always took on anything they offered me. That way, it's harder for me to get rid of you if you're doing too much work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was pretty mouthy when I was young. I've had like, I don't know, 80 jobs or something because I didn't take shit. I just leave a black mark and go find another job. You know what I mean? I just never conformed. I wouldn't kiss ass for money. So I got fired a lot for mouthing. You know what I mean? I did.
Especially when I talked about the sky, I got fired for talking about the sky.
Hey, I bet it's 86 here. I bet it's back. Is it hotter than that there?
Is it hot here?
86 degrees.
Oh, but
Hey, E-Rev, what's up? I didn't see it. I guess I can look at this. Man, it's hard for me to follow the chat when I'm out walking. I just try. Mike Smith, what's up, bro? Suspicious eyes. God. Hey, what's up, popcorn? Everybody in here, I've drawn their, those shout outs I do. Anytime I do new people, even I might have only commented one time if I like their name, how, it looks, I'll draw it. I like doing that shit.
yeah, this is my first time doing that. Yeah, it's 80 degrees here.
Yeah, it's 86 here and it's 6, what time? It's like 7:04 at
It
night.
feels like it's like, what, 65 maybe? Maybe. To me, that's how it feels, but
Hey, last year it was 105 and I picked blackberries for 4 hours. I had to sit down in the shade after that for a second. I about stroked out. I mean, that was a hot. I think it'd been a long time, but I can handle the heat. I'd rather be hot than cold any day. You know what I mean?
oh man, I'm opposite. But I trained my body for cold.
Hey, dude, it gets cold here. I mean, it gets below zero. One time I was working and I was a groundskeeper for the bank people, and they lived like 25 miles away. In my Camaro, the heater core went out. So I'd wear my bibs to work, though. It was so cold, though, I just brainwashed myself that it was summer and I had the air conditioning on. You know what I mean?
Hey, it works. It works.
It did.
It does work.
It's
Like,
there's a movie. I think it's a movie with Mel Gibson. I think it's Mel Gibson. Maybe they're torturing him. This guy hanging upside down. They get out a cut and torch, and
Yeah,
then it's a like frozen steak they put on his back, and he screams. Remember? It's all in your mind. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's all mental, definitely. It starts with the heart. Your attention.
Well, I'm from Missouri. Missouri's called me the show me state. I don't believe nothing I see, or nothing I hear, and only half of what I see.
Right? Definitely.
Because your eyes will play tricks on your mind.
Yeah. But I can tell my mind that I know something's there.
You've got to pray for discernment, and you get understanding from God, nobody else.
Yeah, because they're gonna play tricks with these holograms and stuff. Hardcore, I
So
think.
that's like if you take the wide path instead of the narrow path, God will clear the way for you if He thinks that's what you want, and He'll help you. He'll help you go the wrong way if you ain't careful.
Right? Yeah. Gotta have that good intent.
Yeah, intentions. Intentions is also spelled intentions, like intentions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some people, I tell people that believe in aliens and all that shit's all, evil. And they're not going to come to you as evil. They're going to come to you as like, hey, how you doing? I'm happy. I'm the light. They're not going to be, they're never going to deceive you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hardest part for me on YouTube forever was that I've dealt with a lot of people and haters, and then you get to know somebody else, and then that person that's like fucked over everybody comes in there, and they're treating them nice, and they're like, well, I don't know them. I can't go by what you say. And that's bullshit. It's called loyalty. You know what I mean? If someone's telling you someone's going to hurt you, they're probably right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nowadays, if you talk to people, you have to talk. I don't know. It's hard to even talk to anybody because you can talk in general, and the people listening will go, I don't do that, because they're only thinking of themselves. They're thinking about them. And that's the people that anybody starts out a sentence, I, you watch. Everything you'll talk will be about I. I mean, there's easy ways it's so easy to, I check people out pretty from the start. You know what I mean? Because I'm real picky about having friends and trusting people, so I don't want to put much time in somebody that's going to turn out and be a dickhead and fuck me over or something. You know what I mean? I just don't do it anymore. It's too painful.
Yeah.
I like people, I've always been a people person. So I used to be naive when I was young because I grew up in church and thought everybody was good,
Yeah, and words are interesting, like, especially when you don't know them. And I was doing, like, a lot of weird searching about words. And, you know what I got about planet? Why they call it a planet?
Why?
They plan ET.
Yeah. Well, it's plane with a T, like the Earth is a plane, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, words have frequency. Like, there's a lot of words I use, like believe in me. If you spell it the other way, it means be leaving me. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of words that have lots of meanings, and sometimes people are like, even like in the Bible, it says you're only supposed to call God Father. That's the only person. And the Catholic religion calls everybody Father. And God is like Lord Ball. When you pray to the Lord, I mean, sometimes if you're not, you can be praying to the wrong person, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, Natural Born Rebel?
Bunch of crazy stuff, that's for sure.
Well, but I always, there's some crazy fuckers on YouTube. And like, people are like, there can be insane people in the world, but everybody on YouTube's okay? I don't think so. I mean, it's
all interesting.
I don't do drama. You can ask him. I go in some place and somebody starts shit, or I go. I'm gone. That's the way it is. I don't fuck with that shit anymore. Yeah, I went through a bad deal. I went through something on here with a bunch of people that the guy turned out evil, and one guy used to. I'd have a live stream, and he'd be showing my live stream while I was just cutting this down. He'd make a video about me every day. He did slammed women. He finally got off YouTube. It was crazy, dude. It was insane crazy.
Yeah, you have
so crazy. Hey, it was during COVID because the border was closed, but I was getting close to where I was going to dot his eye from about 300 yards. You know what I mean? It was that bad. I was like, God will forgive me for this one. You got sometimes righteous anger, so it's called.
Yeah, like that's what I've explained to some people. They're like, well, you're able to get mad, how come? And I'm like, well, there's a difference. I'm mad because you lied. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but you got. I pretty much try not to get mad now at all at anybody. Negative thoughts create negative actions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I always try to talk it out. Like, yeah, I don't like to fight and argue. Really?
Well, we learn from repetition, right? Well, a habit is from repetition. So your subconscious runs on emotions, not logic. So whatever feels good is what it'll take. So if you start doing something all the time that's not good, pretty soon it's going to put it on autopilot, and you're going to do it without thinking. And it just does it because but you can do that with the other way. You can, if you're fighting with somebody, quit fighting with them and get along with them. And if you make a habit of getting along, it's a habit. it'll just happen. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. But when you can learn how your subconscious works, you can train it, and it'll go on autopilot, and you'll just automatically do good things. That's just how it is. I mean,
Yeah, we definitely got to reprogram ourselves. That's,
yeah, but I mean, you have to. It's a daily struggle. You have to pray every day to keep your mind right because you don't know. You never know who's doing your thinking. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's not really our actions here. Our work doesn't mean anything. It's really you have to put other people first. That everything else falls in place. I mean, it's hard to do, but once you start thinking of people before yourself, you don't have to do nothing else. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But they made it. We live in a self-serving world now, where it's me, I. No one even knows their neighbor. There's no parents. There's babies, daddies, and mama. The families broke up. Hey, darling. And it's an agenda they've been doing for a long time. And it's finally, after the COVID thing, they're like, finally one of these things worked, and they've been running with it since. You know what I mean? They never let back after that worked. They put everybody in the whole world in the house, and they're at home in their house, scared, but not one gunshot.
Right.
Yeah, look how many people fell for that and got those jabs. It's only going to come out more. The longer we would go, we're going to see what's coming from it. You know it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna be. Devastating.
We're okay right now. If they were the day they say they're shutting the money off and going to that digital shit, things are going to change real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because no one will have control of anything. You can't control anything. They can, and also the money, that digital money. If you don't, they can also say it's no good anymore. They can say, well, this is, if you don't spend it, it's gonna be gone.
Yeah, they can just shut it off. So.
They've used that credit system like China. If you get in trouble, they can say, well, you got in trouble. You can't get gas now for a month, or you can't get cigarettes, or they can cut anything off they want until you mind them. You know what I mean? Think about it. You can't even give a kid $5 for mowing your yard without getting taxed. Neither can he. You can't give. They control. They'll know every single penny you spend. So there's no money laundering. They're selling drugs now, so that means you can't.
Right.
The only reason they get mad when people make money in crimes because you're taking it out of their pocket. They're the criminals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. We're the biggest thugs in the world. We go. You don't want to live free like we do? Well, we're going to come over there and bomb you till you want to live like us. And then we're going to leave a military base there so you can't not live that way.
Yeah.
I mean, some people like those towelheads in the desert riding camels. Them people aren't very smart. They need direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm serious. Some people, if you just let them rule on their own, they'd kill each. There wouldn't be much of them left. They'd all start killing each other usually. You know what I mean?
Yeah. None of them know how to, well, I can't say none of them, but a lot of people don't even know how to hunt,
Hey, you know what the average income of the world, counting all the billionaires, the average income of the world is $2 a day. That says a lot, you mean? You got a stock car. You see it anywhere here, you're in the woods unless you're right in town.
It's beautiful there.
I'm driving you
We got trees, but the rock.
This used to be the main road right here. This 2-lane road went all the way to Kansas City, which is 3 hours away. This was the only way you could go there before. And think how many people got 2 lanes off, cross over and on shit.
Yeah. That's beautiful country.
Hey, here's shit for you. We have a lot of car shows here and shit, you know what I mean? Hot rod, muscle car, all that shit. Are you closer to the beach? How far away are you from the coast?
Oh, I'm far. I'm in
long way?
Arizona. Yeah, I'm in northern Arizona, like near Old like north toward like Flagstaff, Wynwood. High altitude. I mean, give it time, we might have ocean view front property. You know, if California goes down.
Yeah, Craig. It's about supper time, you know. Skinny people got to eat.
Yeah, that's for sure too. I made a elk pot roast. Oh my god.
I try to eat on. I try to eat once a day. Is all I really try to eat.
Well, I noticed I haven't been hungry lately. Like all day, I can go all day, and it's just like I don't feel hungry at all. It's crazy. Like I feel like the world is full of energy right now.
And, you know, I'm 60 years old. I'm not fat. I don't have gray hair, and I'm not bald. That shit would have usually started by now at my age. You know what I mean? But my ex-wife, she said I was too forgiving, and my last girlfriend said I was too happy. So that tells you what kind of person I am. Women hate on you for being happy and too forgiving.
I got kicked out of this house that I was renting a room from, and me and my girlfriend got kicked out. Well, fiance now, or my wife, we got kicked out because the landlord lady or whatever said like we're not allowed to laugh or be happy. If she's not allowed to be happy, then we're not allowed to be happy, and if we're laughing, then we have to go. So we literally got evicted for laughing. I was like, oh my god, and I've lived there for like 2 years, you know, and I'm like, are you really doing this?
I know. Hey, I know what you mean. I was at a guy's duplex one time, and it was what do you call it? Harold and Kumar going to the White Castle or whatever. First time, and I mean, literally, we laughed so loud that the people next door called the police because we were laughing. You know what I mean? That's all it was.
Yeah, they couldn't stand it.
Well, I tell people though, you know, like no one's action or reaction is going to change how I am or who I am or what I believe in.
Right.
It took me a long time to get where my thought pattern is. A lot of pain, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of emotional pain, that's for sure.
And you know, and really, no two eyes see the same, and that was the hardest part for me is accepting things that people said were true that in my mind couldn't be true. But after the shit I've been through now, I don't not believe, but I'm not doubting anybody's word they say about anything. I mean, there's no telling in this fucked up place. You know?
Yeah, I'm definitely open up to things, you know. I'm like, yeah, I'm open to that. But yeah,
I mean, my faith though, my faith I don't back down on. You know, if people are talking about the Bible or God and I know they're wrong. They're not going to say it while I'm around. You know what I mean? I take up for my God all the time, and people don't like it, but they're like, yeah, but that's your opinion. I'm like, no, it's the truth. There's only one truth. No matter what people say, there's only one truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then at my age, I went from believing to knowing. When you get past the believing to the knowing, there's nothing can change your mind. You know what I mean? Nothing.
Between every belief is a lie, right?
Yeah, and the Bible's the only thing that ever resonated with me book-wise that I know it's the Word of God, and that's the biggest excuse non-believers have is like, Bible was written by man. Okay, so you don't believe in God, and you think man's not smart enough to write anything like that, then, right? Or that man wrote something that, you know, man couldn't make up shit like that, dude. You know what I mean?
I think what a lot of the misunderstanding is when people read it is that they don't know truth. They don't, you know, they were taught lies, right? So
yeah, in school it's all indoctrinated. High school, schools are lying. Yeah. You know, it's called history. It's his story because the winners of the war write to history. Yeah. You know, and I've had people that say, I know what you're saying is true, but I will never admit it to anybody. Because some of them people paid a lot of money to go to college, and they don't want to think they were fooled by, you know.
Yeah, I tell a lot of people, like, you wasted your money. I'd get your money back.
And my grandma, hell, I used to stay with my grandparents a lot. I think 5th grade, she said, they didn't go to the moon. That's a movie.
Yeah, it wasn't even live. It was pre-recorded.
And they ran it, they butchered the film till it ran down, you know, 3 times and you couldn't see it. The one that I get full people is, I'm just going to put it on camera because I'm just walking up to this guy's apartment. Anyway, I tell people, it's like, yeah, Richard Nixon talked to him on a landline to the moon.
A landline?
Yeah, he was on a landline. He said his most important phone call ever. He's talking to the people on the moon on the fucking It's a rotary phone.
Shit, that's long distance right there. That's a huge tether line.
Hey, dude, believe it or not, the moon and the sun are the same size, and
Yep,
they're
that's
not that
how.
far away. They're not that far away from the Earth. Like the sun is not 93 million miles away. Like to me,
Exactly.
the Earth is the face of a clock, and the hands are the sun and the moon.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the way I
I mean,
look
that's
at
how
it.
we knew.
Like
I
I
mean,
believe that
to me,
they're lower now. You know, they're
I could
like
tell that we're stationary. God made us the center of the universe, and everything revolves around us, not the other way. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's funny you say that because like I recall when I was a kid and they were teaching me that in school, and I was literally outside on the playground jumping up, seeing how far I moved, and I never moved. And I'm like, this don't make sense. And the teacher's like, oh, that's because you're going with the force of it, so you're just
Yeah,
perfectly going. And I'm just like,
right.
that does not make sense.
But you know, gravity is nothing but density and buoyancy. Is all it is.
Exactly. I asked my boss at home about gravity. What did he say? I'm glad that we have it because I'm here
Hey,
stuck on this planet. I
hey,
just started
hey!
laughing.
Tell them this like you can take a lead sinker that weighs a tenth of an ounce and drop it in the ocean, but a big oil tanker that weighs millions of pounds floats. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah,
because of
or the
gravity; it's
balloon.
because of buoyancy and density.
Same with the balloon, right?
Yep. That's like space is supposed to be a vacuum. Without a vacuum, you put a bottle rocket in a vacuum and light it, it just sits there, it goes nowhere. There's nothing to push off of.
But I know you could throw a bottle rocket in water and it'll shoot off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if there's no, you have to have something like oxygen or something to push off of, because in a vacuum, there's nothing. It just sits there. It's like neutral. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's water above. That's what I
So
think.
do I. I know it is. It's water as above, as below. Hey, when things
Yeah.
were giant size and people lived to be 1,000 years old because with the water around the top too, we lived in a perfect environment. Well, when they dropped that water, then people started getting disease because the protection of God was gone after that.
Yep. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I've studied it all.
Yes, I know they say that they did a study that they threw somebody in the middle of like nowhere, right? Secluded area.
Yeah.
And they left them there for like 3 months and they said that they started healing from cancer and all sorts of stuff. Like their body
Oh
literally
yeah,
just by
I
not
believe
having
it.
our foods and treatments. They just stuck them out there and berries, this, that, off the land stuff for 3 months and their body literally healed. It was crazy.
They probably detoxed the first week, puking up black shit.
Right? A lot of mucus and oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, I did this stuff coral. You know, coral calcium. It was big in the '90s, and it detoxed your body. And this
Yeah.
company, the more you sold, they give you gold coins and all this shit. Well, the first time I tried it, dude, I'm serious, dude. I puked up shit from hell because it detoxed my body. And back then there's probably a lot of shit coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's horrible. I noticed like when I started drinking more teas and stuff like that, and like eating berries and the blueberries and like all these different detoxes, I noticed like a sludge from the bottom of my feet, and I like to walk around barefooted like all day.
Oh yeah,
And
I do too. But hey, one thing, dude, just always pray over your food. Make sure you pray over your food because your stomach has got acid in it for a reason. You know what I mean? God made it
yeah,
to eat everything up.
yep,
It's mostly your state of mind. If you think you're going to get sick, you're going to get sick.
yep,
People go to the
definitely,
hospital, never been sick a day in their life, and they tell them they're dying, they die because they believe them. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. That's what the mind believes, right? The
Yeah.
body follows.
Well, dude,
Well,
I'm gonna get off there. I'm gonna go knock on my buddy's door, and we're gonna
yeah,
get
that's what I was
trash.
about
He
to say.
got some killer dabs and shit, and yeah.
Yeah, I gotta take these pups out.
Hey, thanks for coming up, dude. Watch for next time.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
like being out walking and talking around. I'll try to get more back over to your videos. I mean, I haven't been over in a minute. See you later,
Right
dude.
on. Later.
Later.
Truth, love, peace.
Later.
Got
Oh,
spraying
yeah.
in the house.